Okay, so we're talking about section 1 today of chapter 1, difference between an expression and an equation. An equation has an equal sign. An expression, no equal sign. Order of operations. You remember probably as PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. If you remember what those stand for, it is parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. And you do this reading left to right, just like you normally do. Evaluating a power, really all this is I want you to know that 4 to the third is really 4 times 4 times 4. 4 is the base, 3 is the exponent. So we're going to simplify a couple using our order of operations. First thing we're going to do is do this parentheses. So we have 3 minus 2 times 5. Then we go down to multiply. So we have 3 minus 10. And lastly, subtract, which gives us negative 7. Next one over here, we have 1 plus 5 squared minus 10 in parentheses. So we know that parentheses come first. So we have 1 plus 5 squared, which is 25 minus 10, divided by 5. We still got parentheses, so we have 1 plus 15 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, so we have 1 plus 3, and we have 4. We keep going. Again, we have some parentheses here, so we have 24 minus 2 to the 4th divided by 4. Now we have some exponents, so 2 to the 4th would be 2, times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So 24 minus 16 divided by 4. We do the division first. So we have 24 minus 4, and we have 20. One more, 6 minus 5, and we have 1 cubed, plus 14 divided by, we can take care of this parenthesis, 2. 2 plus 5, we have 7. Take care of this exponent. 1 times 1 is 1 times 1 is 1. So we have 1 plus 14 divided by 7. Divide these two, we have 1 plus 2, and we end up with 3. What's the difference between these two? Well, obviously this one has parentheses. Now your calculator, when it does this thing, it's going to follow order of operations. So it's going to do the exponent first, like for example in this one, it's going to do exponent first and then multiply it by negative 1. So if you plug it into your calculator like this, you're going to get negative 1. If you plug it in like this, you're going to get positive 1. You just have to be careful how you plug it into your calculator. Okay, if we jump down here, this is kind of the same thing. Be careful of how you plug it in. Whether it's positive or negative depends on if there's parentheses and what the power is. Here we go. Solve negative 4x squared minus 6x plus 11 when x equals negative 3. All this wants me to do is take negative 3 and plug it in for x. So I'm going to say negative 4 times negative 3 squared minus 6 times negative 3 plus 11. Now when you plug this into your calculator, if you do negative 4, negative 3 squared minus 6 times negative 3 plus 11, as long as you got all the nice parentheses in there, you should get the right answer of negative 7. Keep going. Writing an expression. You're selling homemade candles at a craft fair for $10 each. You spend $120 on materials to make the candles. Write an expression for your profit if you sell C candles. Well, if you sell 0 candles, you're out $120. If you sell 1 candle, you made $10, but you spent $120 on materials, so you're still out $110. So really, our 10 candles minus the $120 we already spent on materials. Find your profit if you sell 12 candles. For sell 12 candles, we're going to plug that in. So we have 10 times 12 minus 120. We have 120 minus 120, and we get 0. We evened out. Terms. Terms are these things connected by plus or minus. Variables, the two most common variables we use are x and y. Constant, any number, let's say 1 and 17, I don't know. And coefficient, that's the number that goes with the variable. So, for example, if we have an expression like 7x minus 11, our coefficient is the 7 because it goes with the variable. Our variable is the x, and our constant is that minus 11 at the end. I'm going to skip this part. I don't like it. Okay, simplifying. Combining like terms. You probably spent a lot of middle school doing this. We're going to combine our like terms. So right here we have 12x and 3x. We're going to combine them. We get 15x minus 5. Right here, you're going to find your common terms. We have an x squared and an x squared. We have a minus 6x and a minus 5x, and this plus 7 is all by itself. So now we combine. 4x squared plus 3x squared gives me 7x squared. Negative 6x minus 5x, negative 11x, and that plus 7 tags along. Keep going. We got a 6 out front. We got to distribute. We're multiplying. So we have 6x plus 12. Then we have this minus 8. So we have minus 8 times 2x, so minus 16x. And then be careful, minus 8 times minus 4 gives me positive 32. Then it's just like this problem up here, and you simplify. 6x minus 16x, negative 10x, plus 44. Now these were all expressions. All three of these were expressions. These are going to be equations because I got that equal sign. These are going to get an answer, x equals a number. So, I know they sometimes teach you that railroad tracks thing, so you put them line down the middle. You want to get the x's all together and the numbers on the other side. So I'm going to bring this x over here. Since it's positive, I subtract. Then I'm going to bring this number over here. Since it's negative, I add. And then I just want the x alone. I don't want a 9 with it, just the x. So I'll have to divide. And I get x equals 12 divided by 9, which simplifies to 4/3. Same thing over here. We want the x's all together on one side and the numbers on the other. Well, we already have the x over here, so we need to get rid of this thing. So we're going to add 13. We have 2/7 x equals 20. Now to get rid of 2/7, you have two options. You can multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of this thing would be 7/2, and then get your answer. Option 2, when you have 2/7 x equals 20, is you can multiply by the bottom. So you multiply by 7. So then you just have 2x equals 140. And now you just divide by 2, and you get x equals 70. Two more. Fractions. Fractions are the worst. To add these together, you need a common denominator. So if we have a 3 and a 5, I'm going to say my common denominator is 15. Now, to get from 3 to 15, I had to multiply by 5. So I'm going to do that same thing on top. So 2 times 5 gives me 10. To get from 5 to 15, I multiplied by 3. So I'm going to do the same thing on top. 4 times 3, and I get 12. Now I can add these. So 10/15 x plus 12/15 x gives me 22/15 x equals 6. And then, just like before, you have two options. You can multiply by the reciprocal, or you can multiply by the bottom, and then divide by the top. Either one. And the last one, you're going to do a lot of distributing. So we're going to distribute this first. So we have 15x minus 24 equals 2x plus 14 minus 12x. Now I want to combine my like terms on this side. So I have 15x minus 24 equals negative 10x plus 14. I add these two together. Now I'm going to get my x over on this side. So I'm going to add 10x, add 10x. I have 25x minus 24 equals 14. Add 24. I have 25x equals 38. And I want that x by itself, so I divide by 25. X equals 38 over 25, or approximately 1.52. Either one. And there you go, section 1.